So, as Kenny mentioned in one of his videos earlier, and you'll see in one of the videos as well, don't know if it's this video or last week's, I don't know, you'll see, that this ended up under the water. I was trying to hang over the edge and film the side rails because it was heeling quite nicely, and a big kind of freak wave went over, and I think we've got salt in the lens, so the lens won't go back in. So it's currently in a bag of rice. Kenny's not very happy with me. It's currently in a bag of rice, hoping to dry out. So the next few bits of footage, you may see a difference, and that's because I've broken the camera and Kenny's now having to use his phone. So, sorry, Kenny. So yeah. If you don't see me in the next one, you know what's happened. Bye.
Why not consider being one of our patrons? And don't forget you can follow us on Instagram and Facebook.
Good morning, welcome to Cactus Sailing. So today we are sailing, we're doing a bit of night sailing, day sailing, because we're motoring, as you can hear. So we're just going through the Needles, we're heading over to Swanage to catch the tide. We're going to stop in there, just have our breakfast and wait for the tide to turn again until we get around the headland, because we're just going out on the last of the tide going out on this own. So catch up with us a bit when it's a bit more, there's a bit more daylight.
I can actually see you.
We can actually see you, yeah.
As we left Yarmouth, we were greeted by the full moon and a calm, windless day. With a clear sky, the stars were bright, but I couldn't pick any of that up on my phone, unfortunately. But I did manage to capture what was going to be a fantastic sunrise as we passed through the Needles. The waves you can see out in front is where the tide runs out of the Solent and where it meets the English Channel. The tide we will be catching all the way to Swanage. At close to spring tides, I was very glad to be running with the tide today and not against it.
We're just waiting for the sunrise to pop up. That's the horizon over there. We're about halfway across Poole Bay. It's in Christchurch, over there, Christchurch Bay, which is over there. And like I say, we're heading to Swanage. We've got the mainsail up. Not enough wind to sail properly, so we're just motor sailing with the main up. We're doing about 6.5 knots across the ground, so not too bad. Still got a bit of tide with us. Got the tide with us for about another hour. And then we're going to hide in Swanage until our tide turns again, and it takes us around Bilston Head and everywhere else. So I don't want to be fighting the tide around Bilston Head and St Albans Head, to be honest. I've got a favourable tide with me, But I don't think the wind's going to be doing too much today anyway. Maybe 10 knots, maybe 15 at most. So, I don't think it's going to be too much of a sailing day, to be honest, depending where it's coming from. I'm hoping it's coming from the north, because then we'll be able to sail in it. If it's coming from west, it's probably not strong enough to sail, I don't think. Not in the heading we want to get to. Unless we want to be out here until midnight, which is probably not the idea to be. So, yeah. Well, we're about an hour away from Swanage, I think, about an hour-ish. So we'll see.
As we got into Swanage, the tide was just about to turn against us, so we planned to dig the anchor in and have a little sleep before having some breakfast. It was our first real time leaving our trust into the anchor, albeit for a short period. I was still quite nervous and set all the anchor alarms possible. Sleep was broken, and that was until a big V8 alarm clock decided to make sure that everybody was awake. But breakfast certainly refilled us with energy and got us ready to go on our way again.
See the speedboat to come by now?
No!
And of course, just after I said that, they came back. The tide had turned now, so it was time to get the anchor up and leave. And this meant we could go around Durston and St Albans Head with the tide with us rather than against us. And because the overfall's around there, it's best to go with the tide going with you rather than going against it, because it can get quite choppy.
So we just left Swanage. We was there for about 5 or 6 hours, just waiting for the tide to turn, because we got there just on the last of the west going tide. And we just left on the beginning of the west going tide to carry on back home to Weymouth. So we just passed Dilston Head just behind us there on our starboard side, and we're just coming up to St Albans Head. We've got the tide with us. There's no wind today, so I can't imagine the overfalls being anything to take any pictures of or anything like that. It's not going to be rough. I think it's going to be nice and calm through there. Yeah, and then we'll be back in Weymouth Bay before you know it, I think. A couple hours. So we just got a bit of sea fog. Visibility is not particularly that great. Still can see fairly far, about a mile I would say, but it is closing in a bit. We're just passing New Bay, which is over there, and if you look at the water, it's just mirror calm. No wind, so we're motoring. Seems to be the theme of today again. What wind we have is like 2 knots coming behind us, so we're making a bit of wind ourselves, but even having the sails up, they're just flapping around. So got bare poles at the minute, which is not really what I want to be doing. At least motor sailing, you can sail a bit, I suppose. So yeah, we're just going to head back to Weymouth. We're hoping to, well, I was hoping to catch the bridge lift, but I think I'm going to miss it by 5 minutes, which is annoying. So we'll just have to get the next one. Yeah, a bit disappointing we can't sail though. But nevertheless, we're still doing 6 knots across the ground at the minute. Got a bit of tide with us, and just no wind. So we stayed at Yarmouth last night. I quite like Yarmouth. There's plenty of options in terms of, you know, where you want to moor up. So you can stay in the marina, you can stay walk ashore, non-walk ashore, or there's swing moorings outside. There's normally always room there. They'll always find somewhere for you. Worst case, you can go on the swing moorings, I suppose. Apart from when we went out that way, no room in the inn at all. But I suppose that was to be expected on a Saturday maybe. Facilities are pretty good. They've just done the showers up there, so they're quite nice as well. And yeah, access all tides and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know, I quite like Yarmouth as well. It's a nice little town as well. So I'd probably say it's a good 4.5 out of 5 Cactus, I think. So we made the bridge, surprisingly. Just
but tell them.
Tell them what?
It was like 18 minutes past.
It was 18 minutes past. I don't know how the bridge was still open. Must have been a lot of traffic coming in and out today, but I didn't think it was going to make that at all. But we came around the corner, and there was just the last boat going through just in front of us, so we managed to sneak through. So we quickly swapped our lines around, and we're back on our home berth. But now we're a bit hungry, so we're going to go get some food because we've got nothing on board. Run out of water, run out of everything on board, so we need to go and fill up some stuff.
Yeah.
And we'll catch you guys next time.